Hi friends, this is Muhammad Jibran and welcome to our C Sharp tutorials. In this video, we're gonna talk about the methods. So what are methods? Well, first of all, the first method or the most important method in most of the programming languages is the main method. Why? Because whenever you execute your program, whenever we hit this green button, the first method which gets executed is this main method. Okay, so whether you want it or not, you like it or not, you have to agree that the first method which gets called on at the time of execution is the main method, and the other methods which you define or which the Microsoft people has defined, they will be getting called according to the sequence which you have called them. So you might have 10 methods declared somewhere, and you are calling the 10th method first, so the 10th method will be getting executed first. So just to explain that, let me do something like this. Let me just okay, what I will do is I will just go down and I will say let me say private void test method. Okay, open and close parenthesis. Okay, so one thing you need to notice is till now we were working in this main method, we were working inside these two opening and closing braces, but now I'm writing this stuff out of my main method. But be careful, I am still inside my class and still inside my namespace. So out of my main method I'm going to write another method, and my main method, my test method will do something like this. It will just say hello world statement. Okay, so now I have my test method. As you can see, we were calling the right line method like this. Since it takes one argument, we were doing it like this, and our method does not take any parameters. Okay, so it's empty, and our method will look something like this, the readline method. Just we will write our test method in place of the readline. So when we have declared our method, what our method does. So now let's just go to our main method, because this is the method which will be getting executed. Okay, let me first just run this and show you what happens. Nothing will happen, the blank screen will pop up and it will go. You just saw it just came and it just went. We have a method over there, but still it didn't work, because as I told you, only the main method gets executed first. So what I will do is I should call my method, my test method, in the main method. So for that I will simply say test method. Okay, like this. You don't see anything, just private static void. Okay, so now if you write, it says test method. Okay, why I wrote this static, I'll explain you that later on, but for the time being you just need to understand that we just wrote it because we need to write it. Okay, so no offense, just write it like this, and if now I execute my program, so the hello world should appear, and yes, the hello world appears, and if I hit enter, gone. So this is how we create the methods, the user defined methods, and you can do very good stuff in that. So what's the need of creating the methods? Whenever you are writing big applications, you will not be writing all of the code in a single file or in a single method, because you will be having some insertion going on in your database, some deletion, some addition, some update, and if you write all of the code at the same place, it will create a big mess if you would like to edit it. This is one of the problem to create the methods. The methods you would like to make very small. The methods will be the small part of your whole application. Collectively all the methods will make your one application. One method will be for adding the user into a database. One method will be to delete the user. One method will be to update the user. One method will be to add some data in the user's profile. So you can have different methods, so that next time you go for editing anything, you know where to go, where to search for the uh, code. And one more reason for creating the methods is because you don't like to write, like as I told you, the programmer, they just don't like to write more and more code. They just want their code to be short, because it's very simple for them and for others to understand the next time they revisit the code. So if the developers or the programmers find a single code getting repeated in a single application, so what they do, they just create an method for that, and they call it whenever they need it. Like I have created this method over here, and I can call it whenever I want. So just to explain that we can do it, what I will say is, I will write over here console dot write line. I will write back to main method, and before that also I will say console dot write line main method begins, and here I will say, oops, console dot write line begins. And now if I run my application, it would be very clearer to you what is happening in the application. So the first line which you see is main method begins, which is in our main method, as you can see over here. Let me take it down a bit. Fine. So the first line which appears is the main method begins, which is written in the main application, the first console dot write line. After that we have called this test method. So the next line which prints is the test method begins, which is the first line in my test method. Okay, test method begins. After that we are displaying the hello world. The hello world is printed over there. After that test method ends, we are saying test method ends. And you as you can see, the back to main method is not getting printed. Why? Because if you see clearly over here, I have written the console dot read line over here. Okay, so right here the code is waiting for me to hit any key. If I press any key, this back to main method will print, and the application will close. So let me hit the enter key. Back to main method came and it just went. Now the application is closed. So this is how the flow in our program goes. First of all, the main method will be getting executed, then the called method whenever you call it. After that, whenever that method ends its execution, the control again goes back to the main method. So this was it about the methods for this video. Hope you liked it, and thanks for watching the video.